Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well, and today I want to take you on a journey into South Luangwa National Park. And I want to share a very special sighting with all of you, one that left us quite taken aback. But before I get into that, let me tell you why myself and the guest I was privately guiding, Barbara Hartman, decided to go and visit South Luangwa. So Barbara's had a lifelong dream of witnessing elephants move through the lobby of Mfui Lodge. And this particular lodge in South Luangwa is home to quite a number of different elephant herds that make their way through the lobby into the courtyard area where you will find a massive wild mango tree. And this tree drops its fruits in the drier months. And because the food is sparse and quite rare out in the field, elephants move through the lodge and through the lobby into this particular area in order to benefit from this tree. And during our time there, we were very lucky that we got to spend a lot of time with one particular elephant, and the locals or the staff at the lodge had named this elephant George the elephant. And he came to visit us every single day during our time at Mfui Lodge. We spent 5 nights at this lodge, and this was, as I'd mentioned, Barbara's dream. She wanted to see elephants in the lodge feeding on the wild mangoes and in and around the lobby of this camp. So you can just imagine jubilant expressions were just steaming off her face every single day when George had arrived. It was truly special. But one day what had happened is we were ready and set to go out on our afternoon activity, on our safari, and as we were making our way towards the vehicle, George the elephant was making his way into camp. So I had obviously put the ball in Barbara's court, and I said, listen Barbara, we've spent time with this elephant in camp, do you want to spend more time with him in camp, or do you want to go and explore and see what else we can find out in the field? She had opted for sticking to her dream, and she wanted to witness this elephant walk through the camp, walk through the lodge, and enjoy feeding on the mangoes. And so we did this. We enjoyed watching him. We took videos, we shared stories, thoughts, ideas, and just chatted about what was happening in front of us, because it truly is something very special. And eventually George got sick and, well, actually he wasn't sick and tired of eating. There was just no more fruits on the ground to eat. He was nudging the tree, but because he had spent the past 4 days in camp, he had basically eaten every single fruit and mango that dropped off from that tree. But yeah, he then made his way out, walked through the camp, and we then approached our guide and said, listen, we're happy and ready to make our way out. Jumped in the safari vehicle, and we literally followed George. He was walking on the access route straight out of camp, and we were following him all the way, because Barbara wanted to stick with him. Let's see where he goes. Maybe he goes for a drink. Maybe he just wanders off and we can make our way. And this was already quite late in the afternoon, but we decided to stick with him and maximize our time with this incredible animal. But what happened next really left us pretty much astonished. We were lost for words, because George had done something that we had never expected. It is something that I had never heard of in South Luangwa. Obviously elephants in mana pools is well known for rearing up onto their back legs, stretching their trunk up high, and grabbing branches and pulling them down to enjoy something to feed on. And so yeah, we were quite astonished when George jumped up onto his back legs in a reserve that is not known for elephants to do this, and seeing this probably close to 5-6 ton creature balancing on his 2, if I may, they're large legs but scrawny little legs to hold up that amount of weight, really just left us totally mind blown. It was an absolutely incredible sighting. We sat there, and at first it was like he jumped up, and as I'd mentioned, we were quite astonished, and we were like, whoa, we never knew they do this here. And our guy just started giggling, and I got Barbara ready, and she was shooting, firing, taking some shots, and it hit the ground, stepped back, started eating what he had plucked off, and these elephants do this little waddle, this motion left to right while they're looking up, and eventually they kind of lean back and stretch up. And from that point onwards, after he'd hit the ground, after the first time he had jumped up, that moment of disbelief kind of escaped our minds, and from there we were just so charged. We were ready, and we were like, damn, we're sticking with this elephant. If he's going to do this again, we want to be there and we want to be ready. And we were very lucky, and our decisions to stick with him paid off, because he had jumped up onto his hind legs 4 or 5 times after that initial jump. And yeah, we managed to capture some incredible moments. And yeah, Barbara was delighted. Her trip was, we still had the second portion of the trip, which was Wangi, but I mean, her trip was made just by spending time with George in camp and then witnessing something so rare within that park. She was really delighted and over the moon. And yeah, I couldn't have been happier. Barbara couldn't have been happier. We both managed to bank great images, and yeah, it was one incredible experience. And I do look forward to getting back to South Luangwa one day soon.